Well, hello there, fellow geeks and geekettes. Welcome to yet another review video. Now, once again, I'm reviewing a contemporary modern comics, which is unusual for this channel. But as I said in many of my previous videos, I only, as far as modern comics go, do read, well, not exclusively, but mainly Batman-related titles. And well, this review is about Dark Knight's Death Metal, the Speed Metal, which is a tie-in one-shot that well revolves around all that has been happening in the latest event by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo called Dark Knight's Death Metal, which is a sequel to Dark Knight's Metal, published a couple of years ago. Now, this particular one-shot tie-in was written by Joshua Williamson, and the art was done by Eddie Barrows, I think. Well, the gist of the story is, well, let me sum it up very quickly, because as each and every, event or crossover that is written, or that is mainly written by Scott Snyder and Greg, or that was devised by Scott Snyder, it's very complicated and very complex, and that I like very much indeed. But it needs your full attention and reading and rereading, and a lot of back reading, which is by which I mean that you need to know a lot what had happened before, which well, I don't really read many of the contemporary comics, so I haven't read the Doomsday Clock, I haven't read Scott Snyder's Justice League, which means that I had to, well, do my research on the internet as far as what had happened before that, because you need to know these things. So the gist of the fact is that Wally West, one of the Flashes, was lost in the Speed Force, and he did some things in Doomsday Clock and in, I think, Heroes in Crisis that had huge effects on the entire DC multiverse, and basically also connected with the fact that Dr. Manhattan is now very much involved in the main DC continuity, is basically one of the most powerful people in the DC multiverse. So he has some powers over Dr. Manhattan, and at the same time he was able to sit on the Mobius chair, which is basically a chair that provides you with infinite knowledge of what was and is and what is to come. So that's why Wally West, for instance, wears blue now and has the atom, sign on his forehead, the same as Dr. Manhattan had. Now, I am not going to talk about the fact that I do not agree with yet another milking of the Watchmen original graphic novel by Alan Moore, and I do not agree with the incorporation of the Watchmen universe into the main DC universe, because, as I said, it's just milking of the franchise and fucking up with Alan Moore some more. But it is a fact, and it has been happening, so let's go with that. Now, what really is happening in the Speed Metal is that the Batman Who Laughs, the main villain of the Dark Knight's Metal and the Dark Knight's Death Metal, is well, chasing the Flashes, all the Flashes. Barry Allen, who's my personal favorite, Wally West, Kid Flash, and Jay Garrick, the original Golden Age and Silver Age Flash. And because the Batman Who Laughs, now, of course, called the Darkest Knight, who has become virtually the one of the most powerful beings, or dark powerful beings in the universe, wants to use the Speed Force and well, the Flash and the Mobius chair to further usurp the DC multiverse, and him being channeled to the anti-crisis energy or power, combined with that, would make him well, even more powerful and stronger, and indeed an ideal chieftain to the Perpetua goddess that is, well, the boss as far as this, particular event goes. Now, so the story is basically about the Flashes running from the Darkest Night, and the more they run, the more they deplete the Speed Force. They damage it to a certain extent. So the more they run, the more they strain, the more the Speed Force gets weaker. And this is only strengthened by the fact that the Darkest Night sends a horde of Dark Flashes after these, well, Flashes from the DC multiverse to, well, catch them and defeat them. So the same as we've got the different Batman from the Dark Multiverse, such as the Dawnbreaker and the Devastator, and well, all the other Flashes. I mean, Batman. We've got the Dark Flashes, which are now chasing, well, the Flashes from the main DC multiverse. And the task of these Flashes is, well, firstly, not to get caught, because they would be fluffed. And secondly, and that's Wally West's idea, trying to sort of mess up with the Darkest Night a little bit, and maybe try to defeat him even. I will not spoil the story any further. You can read it for yourself. I will only say one of the highlights of the story, and now that's a minor spoiler, so you might want to stop listening for a bit. And that he actually utters the formula for the Speed Force to stop time and buy them, the good Flashes, some time to think of a strategy how to run from or defeat the Dark Flashes and the Darkest Night. Now, the story written by Joshua Williamson is action-packed. It's really action. Each and every page of this particular issue contains colorful, striking, action-packed scenes, and you will not get bored by it, definitely. And the art by Eddie Burrows, by the way, you will not see any pictures here because I read the comic book digitally. I am from the Czech Republic. I don't have any comic book stores available near me, and besides, the comic book is $5.99. I collect collected editions, like omnibuses and hardbacks and paperbacks. I just can't afford to buy single issues because it's not, would really be more expensive to buy issue by issue by issue than to wait for the collected edition. But here and there I of course buy the digital file that I can afford. So the gist of it is really, it's a fill-in issue. It's a tie-in, which is quite interesting and quite action-packed, very Flash-oriented, obviously. I am not the biggest Flash fan. I enjoyed Flash, well, in the Blackest Night storyline, which is over 10 years ago already, but since then I haven't really been reading Flash at all. This being said, if you do your research, if you Google what's been up with Flash, well, I know I read Flashpoint. That was after Blackest Night. All right, so Flashpoint was really and that was cool. So Flashpoint was the last, and I read the button. Flash appeared there. So yeah, so I some Flash knowledge is there. So if you do your research and if you find out what's been happening with and to Flash for the last couple of years, you might enjoy this issue. I would not recommend jumping into this particular issue without any prior knowledge of anything, really. Firstly, you need to read Dark Knight's Metal, you need to follow Dark Knight's Death Metal, and you need to do your basic research about Flash. In that case, and about Doomsday Clock and Justice League by Scott Snyder. In that case, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna know what's going on, and you're gonna enjoy this issue because it wasn't bad. It wasn't the top, but I still enjoyed the original Dark Knight's Metal more than I am enjoying the current sequel. But it's okay. I mean, it's decent. as I say, we can't expect modern contemporary comics to be excellent, except for, well, some of them. Here and there are very good comics written. Recently, I read Berserker Unbound by Jeff Lemire. Actually, I've just finished it last night, and I was amazed. So I instantly ordered the hardcover because I read it digitally, and when it arrives, I'm going to do a review about that. But this issue, as many of the contemporary comic book issues, is just okay. So if you are a Batman fan and a Flash fan or Flash fan, you will enjoy it. If not, I will give it a pass. So yeah, but if you've been following Dark Knight's Death Metal, I would say that this is a very important issue to well, look into. So what do you think, my friends? Have you read Dark Knight's Death Metal, Speed Metal? Have you been following Death Metal or not? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And that would be all from me. See you soon, and bye.